All right, today we're just gonna talk about like in general, like the problem I feel like with Call of Duty, like the franchise as a whole. So let's get to it. I mean, so right when you talk about Call of Duty, I think one of the big issues that Call of Duty faced, is that somebody else, was the fact that there's no separation of casual gaming and competitive gaming. If you get what I'm saying, like you have regular multiplayer, which is cool and all, and then you have no support for a competitive style scene. The only support we've really seen has been from like Treyarch with their Black Ops series, and they've done it the best. Their ranked mode in Black Ops Cold War, I mean Black Ops Cold War, say what you want about the game, but had one of the best ranked game modes Call of Duty had. Like, just in general, Call of Duty does not do good ranked game mode style rankings, playlist, like anything. And then it just doesn't, and it doesn't give a pipeline for kids growing up or anybody who's interested right now to go ahead and say like, hey, I want to do competitive, let me jump into like a competitive style fucking playlist and see what it's all about. You don't got that in Call of Duty. You don't. You have that like everywhere else. Valorant has ranked, Apex has ranked, Rainbow Six ranked, CS:GO ranked. What's that? Another popular Battlefield doesn't. I'm not even including Battlefield 2042 games. Garbage. Halo Infinite ranked. Like, come on now. Halo had one of the best ranking system game modes out the gate, I think, and then the game fell flat on its face due to like support the developer not supporting the game, I think, and just being slow with updates. But that's a whole different thing. So really back to like the competitive thing, Call of Duty, especially Infinity Ward, panders to their target audience is the casual gamer. That's what they want. They want to get as many gamers as possible, because I mean, let's be honest, the competitive scene in any game is always going to be smaller than the casual person who just wants to play the game and have fun. It's always going to be smaller numbers because, you know, there's going to be more people like playing the game and just having fun, you know. So Infinity Ward and Activision as a whole, they're trying to get the biggest player base to come play their game, and they're trying to pander to I wouldn't say a wide base, cause I think Treyarch does it better of trying to help out both the competitive and the casual scene, but I think Infinity Ward is focused on just getting as many players as they can into their game, and so that's kind of what you see. So like the game's not like, sometimes they take mechanics out the game to make it easier for a person who's not playing a lot of hours or just not, you know, that good at first person shooters to pick up the game and go, you know. So can you see that with bunny hopping, slide canceling being taken away, drop shotting not being that effective this time around? It's still effective, but it's not as effective. Bunny hopping is still effective. Like, there's still movement in the game, but they definitely, you know, lowered those movements' effectiveness in a match, you know. And back to like, it's the problem is you have too many when you don't have a separation, right? You don't have a separation. Like, there's no clear way for people to know, like, I'm like, besides KD, there's no way for people in Call of Duty to know, oh, I'm really good at the game. Like, there's no way. Like, you can say like, I have a high KD. Well, do you have a high KD because you're a camper, or do you have a high KD because you're legitimately good at the game, you know? Wow, I can't believe I lost that fight. Turn around on me. Shout out to him. Like, you know, like, do you have a high KD because you just played a couple matches and that's about it? Do you have a high KD because you're legitimately a beast at this game? Do you have a high KD because what the fuck was that guy doing? Do you have a high KD because you just play with a lot of good players? Like, you know, you've been fortunate enough to be on a team where your buddies are all really good and you guys always dominate as a group. So, you know, you benefit from that. So there's no way, like, at least Apex has their ranked game mode, and that, you know, when people earn Apex Predator Predator ranking, like, that's like they're boasting like, yo, I'm ranked Predator, I'm top this, you know, like that's something to boast about. Call of Duty doesn't have that. It doesn't. Like, people don't even boast about how many wins they got. You know, like, who, I don't even know if people really care about wins like that. Most people just go straight to like the KD. And then look at some of the maps. Like, the maps that Infinity Ward designs aren't really, like, they're reusing maps a bunch of times. They're not really designed to encourage like competitive game. Like, their maps are random. The spawns in the game are random sometimes. Look at is that somebody in there? Oh, it was. That got a little intense, didn't it? Right there. What the hell? But yeah, I think Call of Duty, what it really needs to do is, like, all right, we get it. You guys are trying to make the most money possible. Can't fault you for that. You know, you're still a business at the end of the day. Trying to make the most money possible. Make a competitive ranking system in the game for both Warzone and regular multiplayer. There should be a ranking system. The ranking system should have strict SSBM. The ranking system, I repeat, the ranking system should have strict skill-based matchmaking, where it's only placing people of similar ranks, you know, and maybe one level below, one level above, of pitting them against each other in Warzone and in regular multiplayer lobbies. Because again, you gotta, sometimes the player base isn't big enough to put all the top ranked people repeatedly playing against each other. But the rank should have the tightest SSBM, skill-based matchmaking, and then that's when you make the regular multiplayer casual. You literally put the thinnest, most loosest SSBM on there, because again, there are some players that maybe, you know, you don't want to lose from your franchise. Like, maybe it's, you know, maybe somebody has like a 0.5, 0.39 KD. You don't want to lose that guy from your franchise. So maybe a little thin SSBM where, like, wow, that guy, you know, you keep kind of like, you know, the KDs, you know, within each other, you know, nothing too crazy, but you put very thin skill-based matchmaking in regular multiplayer, and you let the casuals who just want to play, let them play the regular multiplayer, let them play that, and then you let the people who want to be ultra competitive, super competitive, put them in the ranked game mode, put them in the ranked multiplayer, put them in the ranked Warzone 2, make a ranked Warzone 2 lobby, and I bet you people will be satisfied, because then, one, the casuals can go ahead and play, right? They won't be shackled to strict SSBM. Look at that, bro. Oh, did he rotate around? Okay, I was about to say, did he spawn behind me? Because that's crazy. Right? They won't be shackled to strict SS skill-based matchmaking. And spitballing ideas right now. I think that would just improve the quality of life, like, game, just off the bat. If people had something like, if you give a ranked game mode for both Warzone and and multiplayer, where people have a way to like, oh, I'm ranked so and so, so now they know they're legitimately like, yeah, I'm top tier Call of Duty player. I have the ranking to provide. I have the KD to provide it. I play this game very competitively, and I want to try hard every single night. So I'm gonna jump in the competitive bracket. I'm gonna go to the competitive style of the game. I'm not gonna be in the casual side. The casuals who want to avoid that, they go ahead and they go into the casual multiplayer. They play and do and just have fun with the game. They're not looking to be ultra sweaty competitive players. And maybe the competitive players will go to the casual sometimes, when they're like burnt out, to try to pub stomp some lobbies. Who cares, bro? It's part of the game. Like, everybody's gonna have that one little lobby where they get wrecked on and pub stomp. Like, who cares? Let that happen, and I think the game will be so much better. So much. And honestly, the cheaters, we know there's hackers in the game, are probably gonna go play in the competitive playlist anyways, where they're gonna be faced with high tier skilled players who can better handle playing against a hacker, because like a hacker is not like unkillable. Like, you can kill a hacker, and a higher skilled player has a better chance of killing that hacker than somebody who's not as good. So the people who just want to play casual can kind of avoid the hacker, because they're going to be flooding into the the competitive playlist. I don't even think you don't even put no rank requirement for the competitive playlist. Like, yeah, this shouldn't be like, how Valorant has, like, you have to be level, I think, 20 to, wow, what was I doing there? The reflexes were slow, my boy. So yeah, I don't know, I just got, so yeah, that's really my thoughts. Like, I think the fan base is so weird, right, for COD in general, every COD. First of all, the fans are crazy. All right, like, I don't think I've seen one COD release where everybody like was just showing support left and right. I don't think that's happened at all, like, ever. But besides that, wait, oh my gosh, the person got up top. The fan base is divided because they want to be so competitive but want to be but there's so many casual players who just want to play and have fun. So it's like, as a game developer, I get it. You guys gotta, you try and look out for the whole population of players. But then when you kind of, maybe you cater too much to one side and then leave the other side in the win, you're gonna lose those players. So I think Call of Duty legitimately has to go ahead, sit back, and say, you know what? Let's take every other game's approach. Let's make a legitimate ranking system with ranks and everything. You get awards, like every season ranks reset. There's a top rank. The top rank is like every 500 players or something like that. Oh man, the top rank is like every 500, 1,000. I don't know, Call of Duty's massive. Every fucking 2,000 players or whatever is a top rank. Like, make a whole bunch of ranks, like Overwatch 2, Activision. Blizzard has Overwatch 2. They have a rank. Kind of take their stuff, like, see how they do their rank game, or like just do something like that. Put that in the game. Tune the yeah, I'm getting destroyed. Tune the weapons so they're balanced, nothing crazy. I mean, you can never be perfect, especially with multiple updates, patches, and stuff. Those gonna change up the game. What is my team even like? What are we doing right now? I like this one anyways. Oh wow, like, that doesn't make sense, bro. So just to wrap it up, like, honestly, like, Call of Duty, please make a rank mode. Activision, please make a legitimate rank mode for both Warzone 2 and regular multiplayer. Listen to your competitive fans who want the game to be competitive, And this is gonna benefit the CDL because players are gonna have a pipeline to sit there and try to, you know, learn how to play the game competitively. God, he's dead. Warzone 2, make a Warzone 2 ranked playlist, and maybe for the Warzone 2 ranked playlist, if at first you start off with like maybe the player counts 100 instead of 150, you know, super strict skill-based matchmaking, so the top tier players play against the top tier talent constantly, so they're not public stomping on like the people who don't want to play competitively. But you still have that regular casual Warzone game mode where people can go ahead and play, and if I'm not trying to be super competitive, super sweaty, you know, maybe bring back a little movement to the game. You know, I'm not saying bring back sky cancel, but you know, can I play and run at the same time? I can do that in real life, you know, but I guess not in the game. So that's really my thoughts on Call of Duty. That's why I think the real issue with Call of Duty is the fan base is kind of like, in this day and age where so many games are so like competitive, Rainbow Six, Overwatch, Halo, like every game has a ranked, competitive, and a casual. Like every game is catering to both its fan bases. Call of Duty is still the only one that doesn't. Call of Duty has not changed its formula ever. Like, I think Call of Duty could make the best ranked game mode out if it just did. It could have the, you know, if it just took it seriously. If Activision just really poured its resources into that. So that's all. Yeah, if you like the video, if you you got any thoughts, what's your thoughts on skill-based matchmaking, my ideas of splitting the game casual and ranked game modes? Do you think that Call of Duty should listen to my plan? Yes or no? Just any comments on what you think, any ways to improve the game. On that, I'm gonna holla at y'all.
Wait, yeah, that's the most these niggas spend a day. I be in the pocket with the pressure calling plays, and I'm heavy with the moves.